Well, the first official day of summer is almost here, and with summer comes fishing from a boat or from shore in a t-shirt and shorts. Is that that's the uniform? That's what I gotta wear?
Well, you know, I'm saying hopefully by the first day of summer we can fish in a t-shirt and shorts.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm hoping. That's why I threw that little part in the script.
What's joining us is Jason from ManateesGetFishing.com to tell us about jigging. We're getting jiggy with it this morning.
Absolutely, and that's what you have on right now. Well, you know, a jig is basically, it's a simple J-hook with a weight on it. I like the one you have there, Molly, because it's got some flash. I did bring some samples. You know, you've got the one with the blade, the real bait jig, which I like. This is your standard ball head jig right here, and this one's got a little bit of a rattle in it. Yeah, I didn't know how close I got to the mic. And this is just one without a collar on it, which you use fishing for a lot of live bait.
Okay.
So those are your basic types of jigs.
So how do you fish these things? I mean, you're talking to a very beginner.
Well, first of all, you can, the beauty of these, you can throw them out and just retrieve them, throw them out and retrieve them. You can fish them fast, you can hop them back, which is one of my favorite techniques. But I just want to borrow the rod from you for a second and talk a little bit about what you see here. Like, we're fishing for walleyes here, and we're using what's called soft plastic baits. And the thing is, what's really changed over the years with these molly is they're not just a piece of plastic anymore. They're actually infused with real minnow scents and pheromones, and minnows have alarm pheromones when one gets injured. They can sense predators around. It's pretty scientific, but this is more than just a piece of plastic. It's actually something that feels and looks quite real to fish.
It does look real.
And this actually has some buoyancy in the tail, this particular one here, this worm. So when you drop it down, it'll sit nicely on the bottom like this. And this thing just kind of waggles and floats up like that. And hopefully will drive the fish absolutely mental, so they crush that jig.
They come up right away.
Absolutely, and it's a good option if you don't have time to get the live leeches and night crawlers.
What would you say for myself? How do I fish with this thing?
I would start by throwing it out and retrieving it back. Throwing it out and retrieving it back from shore or from a boat, or if we get a chance to get you out of my boat, just drop it over the side, click it in, and just hop it like this. And when the rod tip just sort of goes bonk like that, I'll go, Molly, you better pull back on it, and then it'll do this, and the fish will do this, and then we can bring them in.
You may have to help. Lindsay will be there too, and it'll be TV worthy, I'm sure.
It'll be magical. There's no doubt about it.
How do you know, though, for sure that you have a fish on? I mean, obviously there'll be a pull, but is there anything else that you can be ready for it? So, well,
I mean, if it's a pike or a very aggressive fish, like, you'll be reeling and all of a sudden the rod will just buckle and you better be hanging on to it because it'll go flying right out of your hands. They'll sometimes bite it that aggressively. But sometimes you're jigging and it's like, this feels a little heavier than what it felt like with just the jig. And that could be all that it is. I've gotten 12-pound walleye doing that where it's a little heavier. Whack, and then the rod's just bent like this. And you know you got something good.
As long as we don't fly out of the boat.
Well, that is key. We may have to restrain you somehow so you don't.
Seat us down. Finally, I understand you're having a presentation on all of this, teaching people even more about fishing.
Absolutely. We have a really unique opportunity on Saturday, July 2nd. Myself and Jeff from ManateesGetFishing.com will be at Sandy Beach on Katepa Lake, chatting about walleye and anything else that swims in the Qu'Appelle Lakes. It's just $10 to see the presentation and to have breakfast, with the money going to support construction of a local playground in the area. And our good friend Lindsay Longstaff has done a lot of work setting this up, so we thank her for that. Go to ManateesGetFishing.com for more info on this and video techniques anytime.
Jason, love having you here. I got to come out with you before I leave this province.
Absolutely. The clock is ticking.
All right, Jason, thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. I wanted to hear what you had to say, but Molly's distracting me because Molly and a fishing hook seem like a bad idea.
Trying to hook Gary.
Just to practice.
You hooked me when you first started here, Molly. Oh, you got a bite. You got a bite. Okay, we got to get to Morning Smile. Have a look at this. It's all about animals, and this is, you think we have ducky weather? How about these ducks in Thailand? Thank you so much, Sheila, for sending that one in. Pretty cool. And, hey, there you go. Animals are pretty amazing.
They are.
Especially when they get excited. Oh, we got a bite. Oh, stay with us. More CTV Morning Live coming up after this. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one.